Hello everyone, this is Big Climber Big Climbs. I'm coming here with another video for you guys. Hopefully this will help out. And today I would like to talk about shoes. Specifically, something that I want to cover with shoes, being a larger climber as myself. I'm hoping to give some kind of tips and tricks, maybe some advice. Not sure if you guys, this is the first time you're climbing. Maybe you're an experienced climber, maybe you're a heavier climber like myself and you're just trying to get other opinions of what might help you or what might not. And hopefully this video will give you a little bit of insight of what I've learned throughout my journey, my process. So let's get started. So for those of you that are relatively new, your rock climbing shoes are going to be very, very important to help you on your climb. Whether you're indoors or outdoor, they're going to be an essential part of your kit. So it's very, very important to take time, invest in something that you're going to like and enjoy, and that will help you on your journey. So let's get started. So essentially there are three types of rock climbing shoes. And I say that in the most general of sense, but there's essentially three types. So there's neutral, which is flat. So as you can see here, these are the Scarpa Force V's. This is my very first rock climbing shoe that I got. As you can see the bottom, it's flat. That's why it's known as neutral. They're comfortable. You can be in them all day. They're not too bad. They're great. These were very good shoes as a beginner because they allow you to get comfortable with footwork. They allow you to stand on very small footholds with little to no trouble. And just overall, they provide a very good experience because it's not supposed to be very painful. So very good. Moving on to aggressive shoes, as you can see here. Now, there's a step before this known as mildly aggressive or moderately aggressive. Essentially, just imagine this shoe, but with less of a curvature. As you can see, it has a natural curve, which essentially by bending this, it causes a very strong point right here in the toe or the toe box. And this lets you go onto very small holds, lets you grip a little better than something like this would. And also on overhanging routes where you're going to be kind of hanging on the side, this lets you hold on, essentially, almost as if it was a hand, and really press into that foothold to get a really nice, good grip. The problem with these, especially me being a larger climber, they are painful. And when I mean painful, I mean you can only wear them for like a good 5 or 10 minutes. These specifically are the 510 high angles, and these guys hurt. I did like that the sole is broken up. If you look at the bottom right here, there's this gap where there's no rubber down on the bottom, whereas the neutral is one solid long piece. This lets you kind of flex or bend your foot so you can kind of go in to the foothold. I wasn't able to use that feature very well just because these were so painful. So, but that's specifically with this shoe. This is my current shoe that I use right now. This is specifically Scarpa Instinct VS. Great shoe, love it, it's good. As you can see, it also has a broken up sole down at the bottom, similar to the high angle or the 510. So it lets you have that same kind of flexing action, and it works great. This is also considered I believe a moderately aggressive. So it'd be one step down. So if you imagine, so if you imagine this is flat or neutral right here, this then would be the next step over. Sorry, I just gotta fix that. This would be the next step with a slight bend, like so. And then this one is very aggressive. As you can see, it's permanently bent. And hopefully you guys can see that, what I mean by bent or curved. So that's just a real quick rundown of how rock climbing shoes work, different shapes and sizes. So let me talk to you real quick about my experience of using these rock climbing shoes and pros and cons that I really wish I could have known from the beginning. So starting with neutral. Starting with neutral shoes, these are great. If you are first starting out and you're like, hey, what kind of rock climbing shoes should I get? These are very good starting out. And just because they're neutral or flat, because I know plenty of experienced climbers who wear neutral rock climbing shoes because of the comfort, and that's good. Whatever is going to be comfortable on your foot, that's great. Go with what's comfortable. I made the mistake of when I first bought a pair of rock climbing shoes to go tight because I was taught you know, you want to go 2 sizes down from your street shoe. So I wear a size 12. That meant that I got to try to squeeze into a size 10. Depending on the company that you buy, sometimes that'll be like in European sizes. As you can see, this is a size 46, which I believe equals a size 12 in the US. So this was my street shoe size. And so I was told that I had gone too big. And so I essentially, the very first pair that I bought was, I believe, a size 44, which was down to, I think, 10 and a half, I want to say. And they were excruciating, which was a surprise because they're a neutral shoe, a quote unquote beginner shoe. The pain was right here at the front of the toe box. It hurt along the side. It hurt along the toe. It was extremely hard to wear these for a long gym session and outside. And the problem with having really painful feet is that you don't want to step on a foothold anymore because you can't hold your own weight. And as a larger climber, you're going to put a lot of weight on those footholds, a lot. And if you can't stand on even solid ground, this is not going to be fun. So I ended up having to take that shoe back, and I got these ones. And so as you can see, this is a size 46. This is my actual street shoe size. It's a size 12. And that's what I wear on a regular basis. That's my normal shoe size that I wear, is a size 12. And I'm much happier in these. They are super comfortable. I can wear them all day. I can almost wear them around the house with no problem. Like, there's no real pain whatsoever. And that made a huge difference in climbing because I could actually put my foot on footholds as it's supposed to be used. I could use the very front and it would bend in just like that. And it was great. It helped me a lot. And I feel that if your feet hurt too much to where you can't use them, then the shoe is not being used properly. So I climbed in these for, I'd say, maybe half a year or so, about 6 months. And I enjoyed them. I loved them. And then I decided, you know what? It's time to move on. We should try a more aggressive shoe, or a advanced shoe, or an intermediate shoe. So here comes the high ankles. Now, the con with the neutral shoe, which I found out as I kept climbing, is that when you're on more steep routes, there's no bend or flex where you can really kind of curve your foot into the hold. It's just one solid piece. So with more advanced shoes, this break, like I said, allows you to flex. So I decided, hey, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's get an advanced shoe. Let's spend the money. Let's do the research. And apparently everybody loved this shoe. It's a good shoe. But I was reading that it runs tight or snug. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to do what it says. The manufacturer, I believe, recommended that I go down a size. So I ended up going with, I want to say these are like an 11. I want to say that they're an 11. And these hurt. It took me maybe like 30 minutes to squeeze into these bad boys. And oh man, I couldn't walk. I had to lay on my back with my shoes and my feet up in the air, just trying to get comfortable with them. And I tried them, and I tried muscling through them for maybe like 2.5 months. I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, just telling myself, no, you know what, you can do this. And then you can actually see the shoe right here was starting to warp from my foot just wanting to explode out of this shoe. And everybody told me, nope, you know what, that's how it is. That's how aggressive shoes are. They're painful, they hurt, you just gotta suck it up. And I noticed that my climbing initially got better because I had that curve or flex. But as time went on, I would not even want to put these on anymore. It hurt too much. I tried to turn these back in order to get like a different size, but unfortunately I couldn't. The place that I had bought these from said, you know what, it's final sale, you've used them too much. So that was it, unfortunately. So I had to kind of just bite the bullet. Hopefully you guys won't make the same mistake in terms of shoe and sizing, because sizing is very important. Buy what's comfortable. I know some of you out there might be saying, well, for me, I really like a nice tight fit. That's great. That's good. You know, I know plenty of rock climbing friends that I go to the gym with. They love having a tight feel. They like feeling the pain of the shoe. That's all well and good. I can't do that. I hope maybe some climbers out there who are in the heavier side like myself might agree with me more that comfort is king when it comes to rock climbing. And I think it has a lot to do with our weight. Me being 255 pounds right now at the time of this recording, on the first video that I made, I was 260. So I've gone down 5 pounds, which is great. I'm happy for that. But anyways, being larger means that we are applying way more force at the end of our feet than somebody who weighs 120 or 140 or 160 pounds. We are putting a lot of pressure right here, holding on to very small footholds, trying to just have our entire weight. And that's not going to work. You're going to get a lot of pain right here, a lot of pain along the sides and the tip, and it's extremely painful, and it is not fun. And like I said, if you can't even stand on the shoe, or if you can't even place your foot on the foothold without screaming in pain, then it does you no good. You might as well just climb with your hands and just campus all the way up, because you're not going to be able to use your feet. So I learned the hard way, and I learned, you know what? I need to pick something that's more comfortable, something that's more suited to my style, and I went with something else. So in come the Scarpa Instinct VS. Amazing shoe. I love it. It's moderately aggressive, so not as bad as a high angle. It still has broken up sole right here, so it allows me to flex and bend with no problem. So with that break right here in the shoe, it helps out tremendously with flexing, as I said before. And it really gave me that power and flexibility that I liked in the high angles, but these were much more comfortable. For one, I went with my straight shoe size, so I went with these. I went with the 46, which is the same shoe size in terms of the neutrals, the other Scarpa shoes that I had. And then the other thing that I liked about these that I didn't know initially, but I strongly recommend, Scarpa has a very wide toe box in compared to other rock climbing shoes. I know Scarpa has a lot of different styles, and they have whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find it there. They have shoes for narrow, they have shoes for wide, they have shoes for, like, you know, if your arch is a little flatter or a little higher. They have a lot of variability, and Scarpa is really good with that. I know from a personal standpoint, seeing as how I started with a Scarpa, and then I went with a 510, which is these guys right here, and then I went back to a Scarpa, I don't think I'm gonna be using anything else other than just a Scarpa shoe. It's my favorite. Now I will say that I'm not, no way, shape, or form am I being paid by Scarpa. I am not sponsored by them, not even close. But I gotta say, I love Scarpa, and I love their shoes and their styles. And this wide, I mean, you can just tell. You can see it right here in terms of the toe box. Like, that is narrow right there, and that is much wider. I'm hoping you can kind of see it a little more on the back, like this. But it's a huge difference. And I mean, you're talking about a size 11, size 12, but the toe box is huge. It's almost twice the size. It gives you plenty of room. I'm not uncomfortable in it whatsoever. I'm able to stand on very small footholds. I'm able to apply a lot of pressure because of the curvature. I'm able to use it on overhangs. I mean, it's great. It slips on really easy. It slips off really easy. I can wear these in the gym. I use them outdoors. It's a great shoe. So I strongly recommend, if you are gonna go and you're gonna buy your first pair of rock climbing shoes, or maybe you have a pair of rock climbing shoes right now that you use and you just feel like they're not helping you. Maybe it's because they hurt too much. Maybe they're too painful. Maybe it's time to try something else. But definitely take your time and try shoes on. Don't make the mistake that I did of just, you know, finding some shoes, downsizing them like 2 or 3 sizes too small, and then just being in pain and thinking, you know what, this is just how rock climbing shoes are. They're just painful. They don't have to be painful. You can make it work. You can make it comfortable. You can do something that you like, and that's going to help you. So I strongly recommend getting a good pair of rock climbing shoes that you are going to like and enjoy, and that are comfortable and well suited for you. So I believe that's everything that I wanted to cover. I hope this helps, especially if you're first starting out. Like I said, my overall goal is just to help and help, others along the way who might be starting out rock climbing. You don't have to be a small person to rock climb. You can be a heavier climber just like me. And granted, I'm not trying to stay as a heavier climber. I want to lose weight to rock climb. I'm not trying to rock climb to lose weight. I want to be a better rock climber. And sometimes the only way to do that is going to be to lose weight. This is a strength to weight based type sport. So weight plays a heavier role. So sometimes we got to think smarter, not harder. Get comfortable shoes. Get something that you're going to like. Get something that you can wear, that you can actually use your feet instead of screaming in pain trying to put them on. And I hope it helps. Well, climb safe, climb strong.